anything else
on this topic of the role of federal government in the economy and how or if you see what government can do to create jobs.
And I think you asked also, what could you do? If you went there, what would you do? I would say I do the same things I did when I was there. Or pattern out the same things that were very effective here in Michigan. Remember, it's probably many of you do, if not most of you do, that in the 80s, we suffered under an administration that taxed more, spent more, regulated more, and built up government more. Here in Michigan, ended the 80s with the Blanchard administration with a $1.8 billion budget deficit. During those from 82 to 90, I was battling Governor Blanchard saying, no, we can't do that. We need to reduce. We need to say business is open, or the state is open to business here. So in the 90s, we changed administrations. We had the opportunity of a majority, and even at one time, it was a shared majority of Democrats and Republicans. What did we do? We cut taxes 26 times. I co-sponsored all 26 of those tax cuts, Proposal A included. We reduced the size of government by doing away with some departments and divisions.
What departments might that be?
We did away with, we combined Department of Natural Resources and DEQ. We combined in the area of social services a number of agencies to reduce the overall cost. We saw things turn around. We cut spending as well in that process. What happened? We went from a $1.8 billion budget deficit in 1990. When I was term limited in 1999, I left with a $1 billion surplus, a AAA bond rating in the state, jobs coming back from Indiana, Ohio, and other states, an unemployment rate that had dropped below 6%. Now that same process needs to take place in Washington, with a $1 trillion deficit producing budgets that Mark Showers voted for. The Pelosi budget with 9,000 earmarks in it. It's going to be a battle to turn that around, but the same principles will work. So, for instance, I hate to jump in on you, Rank, but this isn't a radio program tonight.
No. It's just about you guys, but I wanted to keep in mind time.
Sure, but I wanted to say, I think that we're talking about these same things. I think it's the most crucial thing going here. When I introduced legislation when I was in Congress and sat in committee because Pelosi wouldn't allow it taken up on the issue of all of the above energy plan, that was a jobs bill. It wasn't just energy. It said, sure, let's go for wind and solar, hydrogen power, and other creative things that, as Reagan said, the exceptionalism of Americans can produce. But let's also use the resources we have. Our petroleum resources, our natural gas, we're the Saudi Arabia of coal. Use those, but then also use nuclear power. That goes into producing jobs and economy. The energy, the healthcare plan I pushed and introduced in Congress, that became the focal point for the Republicans this time that they took to the White House. And they added to it. Said, let's do a patient-centered, private sector approach. Let's increase health savings accounts, association health plans, allow purchase of health care across state lines.
If I can butt in, though, we got to remember time, but
sure.
While you're standing here, then I want to get to the other two. Where was this with the Republicans? I know you came in when the Democrats took over.
Democrats control both houses.
When you came, I understand. So you were talking to these other Republicans that were there. All of us want to know, if we elect one of you, how can we be assured that it doesn't go back to the same way? And you're just one person. This position is just one. There's 435.
But that's where it comes in the partnership. The backbone comes.
Because it didn't happen during those years.
Well, it happened with some of us.
I understand that. I'm saying as a whole.
Yeah, it happened with some of us. We were spanked pretty hard in 2006 and 2008. The Republican Party, I think I can tell you right now, 130 members of the Republican Study Committee, the conservative wing of the Republican Party, of 177 total. That says we're gaining. Conservative philosophy is gaining. But you can do the same thing as you did in 1994 with a contract with America. Do the exact same thing. Good stuff. But unless there is that continued pressure from the citizens to their elected officials, the continued oversight, it can go away again. Now, I'm delighted, Rank, to see right now the Tea Parties and the 9/12 groups that are standing, the grandfathers and grandmothers saying, I never came to a political event in my life. But I'm not stopping now. I'm going to give the rest of my life to restore this country what it was that was given to me at very good. So those, Rank, are some of the things we have to do, but we do it together.
Marvin?